If you were to look at your life from the outside looking in, what type of lifestyle would you observe? Would you see somebody who's struggling to keep their head above water, or would you see somebody who seems to have it all? Would you see somebody who is working tirelessly, grinding day in, day out, but they're running on a hamster wheel? They got no motion, right? And no matter how much they put in, they just not going nowhere. Or would you see somebody who's cruising at top speed, with no effort right towards their destination? Right? For you and many people, I know I had the question before is there more to life? Is there more that I can be? There's more that I can do. Is there more that I can have? And for you, you might actually know that there is more, but you don't know how to get there, right? So first, I want to open your mind to the four levels of lifestyle, show you the path from going from surviving to thriving, no matter where you are in life, right? You can always upgrade your lifestyle until you get to that point where I believe is our birthright, which is abundance, right? The life that God came to give us. I came that they may have life and have it more abundantly, the Zoe life, right? So I'm going to talk about those four levels of life, what they entail, and how to actually get there, how to go from each one, each level. The first level of life is survival mode. We all know it. It's the lowest quality of life. Nobody wants to live here. Nobody wants to be here. It's where you are scrapping together to just have your basic need, food, clothing, shelter, right? This is where you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. I can't pay the light. I can't pay the cable bill because I need to make sure we got lights. I'm gonna be a little bit late on the rent because we had to eat, right? This is the type of stuff that you go through inside of this type of mode. And if you've ever been there, it's not cool. I've been there before, right? I've been there in my own personal life just not too long ago, right? So and it takes a certain type of mindset to move through it, because especially if you have somebody to take care of. I'm a single man. When you have somebody to take care of, a wife, kids, spouse, whatever it is, you are it's something that goes through your mind. You start trying to make this. You start having to make decisions. Or am I going to be? I'm gonna step outside my character to go make my money, right? What am I going to do to go make this money? And you have to remember, like, don't step outside of yourself for money, because money is not everything. However, you don't want to be inside of a situation where you're reliant on help, or you're reliant on budgeting, where you can't buy the things you want. You can't enjoy life, the hours that you spend on this earth. You can't enjoy it because you are working to build somebody else's empire, if you even have that, right? If you're not just piecing together with side hustles. Survival mode is not a good place to be in, and we need to be able to find ways to get out of it, to move into the next level, which is security and comfort. Security and comfort is where you have stability in your finances. Yeah, you can pay your bills, you have your basic needs, you have a little bit left up for savings, and this is where you working. You have a 9 to 5 job, or you have a entrepreneur job where you're the boss, you're your own boss, but you're really just working. You're working your own job, right? You're your own boss, but it's still a job for you, right? It's a great place to be for a lot of people, and a lot of people like to be here, and that's fine. I'm not saying anything to it, but there's a stat out there as of 2023 that 64% of Americans can't afford or live paycheck to paycheck, even the ones above $100,000 a year. It's crazy in this economy, right? And 50% of Americans can't afford an emergency over $1,000. So if I tell you that, that means that if your car go down, you lose your job, you got kids that get sick, they get injured in sports, whatever it is, you got that $1,000 that got to come out of your account. You're going to be trying to play catch up, right? You got a little bit of savings, but nope, that savings is not going to last for long. And this is where a lot of Americans live. This is where a lot of people in the world probably live, right? They live in the security or stability level where they have a little bit of life of comfort. They can do some things, but they have bad debt. They have a whole bunch of liabilities on their account. They have credit card debt. They have car loans. They don't have a mortgage yet. If they do have a mortgage, they're upside down, or they're just paying on interest, right? These are all things that, again, it's cool to be here because you can live a decent quality life, but do you want to stay there? And if your answer is yes, that's fine. If your answer is no, keep watching, because now we're going to talk about the next level. And the next level is freedom. Freedom is what we all desire. Freedom is what we all want. Freedom is what the 1%, right? This is what they had in mind when they started to pay people to build their empire, right? Freedom is where you have good debt, you have assets, not liabilities. You have things that are going to appreciate, right? Good debt buys things that are going to appreciate in value, right? You bought it at one value and then it's going to go up. You can cover all your expenses without having to work, right? You have investments that give you income, right? You have control over the lifestyle that you want to lead. You can be wherever you want, when you want. You can work how you want to work. You can work the hours that you want to work. You can enjoy the experiences that you want. If you want to go on vacation, you can go on vacation. You want to take the people, your family on vacation, you can go on vacation. You want to take them to the movies and let everybody buy, all the snacks off the thing. You can do that, right? Whatever you like to do. But this is the type of life that we all should try to look for, right? This is a life of freedom. a life of freedom, freedom from the rat race, freedom from the chains of society, freedom that allows us to live comfortably with the resources of finances, right? Live comfortably with the resources of finances and not have to be scared if something were to happen, right? If you have, I have 2 years of savings. If anything happens, I'm good, but I still have income coming in. That's what freedom is. That's what freedom is, right? So this type of lifestyle, in order to have a free lifestyle, and I'll do a whole another long video on this. To have freedom, you need mindset. You need to understand mindset and the law of value, and you need to understand wisdom, right? So with these three things, when you have a mindset and then you understand the law of value and you exercise wisdom between these three things, you can have a life of freedom. I'll do a whole nother video on that. I don't want to keep this one short, right? So that's freedom. That's the life. That's the life that we should all look for. And then we have abundance. We have abundance where it's our birthright. This is where we step into. This is not just freedom; it's a legacy, right? It is our inheritance, and abundance is our inheritance, and it allows us to give inheritance to other people. Abundance is where you have so much, right? So it's that level of freedom where you can now not only make an impact on your life, you can make impact on other people's lives, and you can have impact on the generation that comes after you, right? So if you have kids, if you have nieces, nephews, anything like that, right? Or you have just, something you want to put together, right? Abundance is where that lives. Having abundant wealth is where our 1%, those people that we see, that's what they have. They have abundant wealth where they can just continuously pass down and make impact on generations. This is the type of life that we should be living, right? And in order to live that life, we have to put freedom on automation, right? Figure out systems and structures. Again, I'll do another video on this. Systems and structures that bring money in while you on a yacht somewhere doing whatever, right? And you don't have to be on a yacht. That might not be your thing. It's not my thing, but that's just my point, right? But in order to progress through, right, and put the bare minimum target of having a free life, a life where you can live your lifestyle, how you want to live it, when you want to live it, where you want to live it, in any way that you want to live it, right? To have that type of lifestyle, we need to do the first thing, which of course we talked about it. We need to break stronghold, but we need to have a mindset that makes a decision and says, I am determined to get to that level, regardless of what is around me. I accept nothing less than freedom. Right? You're not going to be at freedom. If you're in survival mode, you're going to have some work to do, right? If you're in security mode or stability mode, you're going to have some work to do, right? To get to freedom, but that's okay. It might take some time. It's going to take time. Everything takes time. We did a video on the law of process a couple weeks ago, how long ago. There's a video on law of process on my channel that is going to take the time, but the decision has to be made. The decision has to be made that there is nothing that is going to keep me from living a life of freedom and or abundance, right? Mine is I want to live nothing less than my birthright, and that's abundance. So now, after you do that, after you shifted your mindset and you made that decision inside your mind that you're going to go full bore, you need to start assessing everything around you. You need to start looking at, what does my circle say about me? Or how does my circle help advance me to that? How does my behaviors and my actions actually advance me to abundance? How does the things that I engage in and the activities that I like to do, like what is it that I'm doing that is advancing me to abundance? If they are not, cut them off. Cut them off, right? If they're not pushing you towards freedom, then you need to cut it off. If your environment, right? The people say, oh, I'm a product of my environment. If your environment does not push you towards abundance, change it. Change it. Once you do that, once you change the things, once you make the decision and then change the things that are not steering you clear or steering you towards your ultimate destiny and destination, then you can start adding the things that are going to propel you there, right? So I wanted to make that quick, give you those 4 quick levels. And then next week, what I'll do is I'll actually break down how to actually step into those, not just the mindset part of it, but actually how to step into those and start to create systems and structures that will give you abundance over time. So as always, if you like this content, you want to see more like it, make sure to like, subscribe, share, YouTube stuff, all of that stuff, and to advance the kingdom in your life and in the ones that we touch.